Ashwin Bharat is the founder and CEO of Revature. Welcome to BNC Live.
Thank you, Levan. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you. So first, I'd like you to tell us about your company, because you say that your company solves an opportunity gap that exists in technology. So tell us about this.
Yes. See, Revature, we are the largest employer of entry-level software engineers in the country. And our core business model is built based on the fact that you need to solve skill gap by solving the opportunity gap, right? So let me just take a step back and explain how I started my career. So that will make it quite easy, right? So when I graduated like 20 years ago, I had zero programming knowledge, right? But the company that hired me based on my aptitude and attitude and trained me for 4 months extensively, and eventually became one of the top programmers of the firm. So that became the foundation for Revature business model. What I mean by that is, in US, even at an entry-level programming job, you're expected, 80% of the job expects you to have a programming skills. To me, that's an oxymoron, right? So what Revature does is, instead of hiring somebody based on the programming skills that they have today, rather we hire them based on aptitude and attitude, train them extensively for like 3 months, and see their potential and create great programmers. So that is the core business model of Revature. Rather than hiring based on what you have today, we hire based on your aptitude and attitude and train you for the job.
Well, that sounds exciting, because we know that when it comes to software engineering and other tech industry jobs, there's not a lot of women and people of color, and oftentimes they don't have the training to be a software engineer or do programming. So do you think that people would be able to learn this skill just by going online and getting their certificates, or do they have to go and get that formal 4-year college education to do this? Because I know that you can learn different programming languages, Python and R and so forth, just by getting certificates online.
I think it should be a combination of both in my mind. So what I mean by that is, take us, right? We have done this successfully for over 7,000 people, and people come from computer science background, people come from STEM background, people come from non-STEM background, with a huge variety of demographics, right? So one statistics I would like to give you is, 11, the country, the programming job, only 22% of the workforce is diverse. Take Revature, for example, 59% of our workforce is diverse, right? The reason is, by solving the opportunity gap and by providing opportunity, diversity becomes a natural byproduct for it, right? So you don't just look for people who have the skills now. There is a huge alternate supply chain of talent. So go look for them, provide them the opportunity. And it could be either by taking some computer courses in your 4 years program, or it could be something like Revature, or it could be something like bootcamp. There are plenty of opportunities available. In my mind, 11, it should be a combination of both, actually.
And Ashwin, some people say that the United States has fallen behind when it comes to computer science and technology. For instance, in other countries like China and India, where they learn computer programming, and sometimes even in high school, and the populations are much more computer and digital savvy. How would you say the United States ranks in terms of educating our children about computer science and the importance of technology becoming such an integral part of the future?
Yes, see, as somebody who have seen international markets, especially both India and US, so there are two contrasting comparisons I would like to make is, one is people graduating in US, their employability factor is significantly higher compared to, take for example, India. On the other hand, when it comes to logical thinking and mathematical applications, US lacks. So to me, we have to take up advantage of the soft skills that we have in US. And we have to apply that with a combination of adding more logical and mathematical application. And it need not be just in STEM majors. It need not be just in computer science graduate. We need to start that in high school. We need to start that in associate programs. We need to start that in 4 years degree. To me, is there a gap? Absolutely, there is a gap. And it need not be a full degree, but rather we can even take small courses to make sure that we fix the gap of logical thinking and mathematical applications.
And if we know that these companies are seeking diversity, how young should our children be when they start learning about this? I mean, can you have your kids start getting involved in these type of programming languages at a certain age, or do you have to be college age? Can you do it at a younger age? What guidance would you give for parents who want to help their children get involved in more STEM type of programs?
It's a good question. My personal opinion, there is like nothing called like you're too young to start learning to program. There are plenty of applications, either paid, free, non-profit, for-profit, available for kids even as young as 3-4 years old to start learning the logical thinking, which is the essential for programming. So I would strongly encourage kids, especially in the time of pandemic. One of our easy babysitting option is screen time, right? Like put some learning. There are like one example, code.org. So they have a really gamification way of learning. And similar to that, there are plenty of applications available. I would strongly encourage kids of any age, like whether it is like kindergarten, middle school, high school, do not hesitate. It is not early. It is not late. You have to start learning these things.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much. We're out of time, but we appreciate your advice. Ashwin Bharat, we appreciate you joining us. Take care.
Thank you so much, Joanne.